What's happening, everybody? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, because we upload videos every single day. Now, Zion Williamson continues to prove that he is the most dominant player in the NBA since Shaquille O'Neal. I'm going to say this again. Zion Williamson continues to prove that he is the most dominant player in the NBA since Shaquille O'Neal was dominating with the Lakers. We haven't seen anything like this since Shaq. Now, Giannis is pretty dominant. Giannis looks pretty good and scores a lot of buckets and has very high PERs and has won the last two MVPs. So Shaq even came out and said Giannis reminds him of himself. But Giannis ain't this. As good as Giannis is, he ain't this. And he wasn't this or even close to this fast. Think about it. Zion Williamson. He didn't really play at all last year. He played in 24 games last season. And we saw glimpses like, woo, oh my God, this man could be special. The fact that he can get up off the ground and bounce and, all of that stuff. Number one pick, just get healthy, big fella, and you're going to be special. Well, this year he's been healthy. And what has he been? Nothing short of special. I mean, the man is averaging 26 points, shooting 61% from the field, 7 rebounds. He's only shooting 31% from three, but that is going to get better. You see the potential. The shot, the stroke, it doesn't look bad because he's shooting over 70% from the free throw line, which is always a good sign. And he's averaging the most points in the paint since Shaq. It's ridiculous. And he's only 20 years old. He's only 20 years old, guys. And the thing about Zion is that his team is now figuring out how to win. See, at first he was putting up these really gaudy numbers and just looking amazing, and he just got his first All-Star bid, but his team was losing. They were garbage. They weren't good to watch. They weren't a good watch. And now he's starting to get it together. Now they just beat the Jazz. Now they're heading in the right direction. The problem is they don't really play any defense. His team doesn't play any defense, but we're not here to talk about the team. We're here to talk about Zion. And see, the beauty behind Zion, besides the fact that his game is just high-flying dunks and dunking on people and bullying dudes and elbowing dudes and making, 7-footers bow to his knees even though he's only 6'6", is that Zion came into the league with a lot of hype, right? First, he went to Duke. Any player that goes to Duke is big time. You expect a lot out of him, especially when he was on the team with Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett. They were the 1, 2, and 3 overall prospects by every recruiting site ever. They were put on the same team, and they were a rock star team. And the lead guitarist, the lead guy for this rock star band was Zion. He was the top dog. He was it. He was David Ruffin. Ain't nobody coming to see you, RJ. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Zion was David Ruffin, and the rest of them boys was the Temptations. He was the biggest star on that team. He was Smokey Robinson. The rest of them folks was the Miracles. Like, he was Diana Ross. The rest of them folks was the Supremes. Like, he was the reason they came to see Duke play. And then the shoe exploded. Y'all remember that? When Zion Williamson was playing for Duke and his shoe exploded? And so that put him on a grandiose stage. He was already on the biggest stage in college basketball. They were winning. He was dominating. And then his freaking shoe exploded on ESPN. And Nike had to think fast. Nike had to move on the fly because they just literally had a shoe explode on national television by the biggest star in basketball, by the biggest star in college basketball. So they had to work fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and make it show you, hey man, like it ain't our material, it ain't our equipment. This man is a Superman. He's a different kind of human. You're not supposed to be able to explode like that physically and be that size. And that's why Zion's special. And that's why he'll be the next face of the NBA. And that's why he's the most dominant player since Shaq. And that's why everybody could see it. Folks was trying to convince themselves, and that's what be so crazy about like sports, right? Like everybody sees the same thing. We are watching the same games. We're all watching the same players, but we all have to have our takeaways, right? And everybody saw that Zion was just physically different. Like he was just physically different. And part of being one of the best, being a great pro is the fact that you can beat some of the guys are just physically, naturally different. And Zion's one of those guys. And we're looking at him, and folks are trying to say he won't work in the league. Why won't he work? Everything he does, he can do in the NBA. Everything. He can step in the NBA right now and be a top 30 player. And right now he's a top 15 player. And he hasn't even played a full season, 82 whole games. But that's how special he is. And that's what happens when you're the most dominant player since Shaquille O'Neal. And I can't wait to see the rest of his career. I'm glad that he's in the All-Star game. I hate that he's not in the dunk contest, but I understand why, because it's not smart. Like I just said, the man had a shoe explode before, right? So it's not really smart for him to be, jumping, dunking, going crazy with his 285-pound frame. Nah, let's stay away from the dunk contest. Let's get ready for the second half of the season. That way you can try to make a playoff push. The Pelicans need to do better because they have a franchise changer. They need to do right by Zion and get him some better pieces and play some better defense. But I'm glad to see him play. And like I continue to say, he's the most dominant player since Shaquille O'Neal. Let me read his stats one more time, because just for those in the back, they hear me. He only averages 33 minutes a game, 26 points, 61% field goal percentage, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and has the most and scores the most points in the paint, over 20 a game, since Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, that dude's special. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. at the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe.